So, if you remember that we were talking about accepting many words, accepting a sentence. Say you now assume user enters a sentence. Now sentence will contain many words. So each and every word needs to be scanned. But one word is scanned by %s. See, if you write scanf, just %s followed by the string s maybe, then how many words does it scan? Only one. This is capable of scanning only one word. Doesn't matter how many words you enter, but it will scan only one word and break out as soon as, and go out of it as soon as it finds a white space or an enter. So if I have to scan many words, then this scanf should be there in a for loop. Please understand this. I need to have a for loop where this scanf has to be there if I have to scan many words. So suppose I have to scan many words now. You know, if I write char 20, then it is a array of characters. But if I scan it by %s, then it will only scan one word. So if I have to now scan many words, I may declare a 2D array. Say 10 words, 20 characters each. Please understand, this may mean 10 words, 20 letters each. In each letter there will be, in each word there can be 20 letters. So char 10, 20. So in a for loop I will scan this string or these words one by one. So you understand this, I will have to write, I have to define the word. So char s 20, 10, 20, sorry. So over here what does this mean? It means that S0 is one word of 20 letters, S1 is the next word of 20 letters, S2 is the next word of 20 letters, S3 is the next word of 20 letters, and so on. That means if I scanf %s, then it will not happen. I will have to scan S0, S1, S2 like this, which means I need to scan Si. If S0 is a word, then S0 has to be scanned, S1 is a word, S1 has to be scanned. But then again, S0 itself is an address, because S0 is a word. So that word starts from this address. So like S was an address, S0 is an address over here, because now it is a 2D array. Each S0, S1, S2, these are words. So each of them are pointers from where the letters of that word begin. So only writing Si is enough, you don't need to write %si. Now how many words will I scan? I may say that I will scan 3 words. So for I equal to 0, just a random thing. For I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. I think you get my point. I equal to 0, I less, that is 3 words I am scanning. So I can tell the user printf, say enter 3 words. I can tell the user enter 3 words. An expected user will enter 3 words. Now in a for loop I will scan 3 words one by one. Understood? Once that is done, once you scan the 3 words one by one, after that what is to be done? After that you may printf %s, but then you have to print S0, S1, S2, which means you need to print Si. Though Si is an address once more, but printf will work on it because it will start from that address and print the entire word. But S0 is a word, S1 is a word, S2 is a word. So again I need a for loop actually, sorry. For loop I need, for I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, I need to print this string or print the words one by one. Once this is printed, once the words are printed over here, you can say that this is done now. The words are printed. So if I now run this program, what will it look like? Alt-R, enter. One error, why? Undefined symbol I, yes. Int I needs to be declared. So int I. Now let me run it. So enter 3 words. How are you? So how are U is printed? But see, how is a word, R is a word, U is a word. They have been scanned in S0, S1, S2. When printing them, did you put the space? No. As you did not put the space, so it has been printed one after the other. Now I've put the space, let me run it. So enter 3 words. Say, how are you? See, it is printing how are you. So I think you understand this. So we will start, we will just now ask you one simple question, that will user always enter 3 words? No. What to do? User will never tell you from the beginning that he will enter 3 words or 4 words or 5 words or what. User may enter any number of words. User may enter any number of words. How will you scan? Like this I less than 3 will not work. You can think of it. Say you may say I will enter 5 words. Say enter 5 words. Then 5 words you will have to enter. Anything less than that will not work because you will run the loop from 5. So you are running the loop from 5, running it 5 times to print, running it 5 times to scan. So you can do it. But see, the problem is, if you this time write, say as I was writing, how are you? With that, this will not stop. It will want 2 more. See, your enter is not working. Here you need to write something more. Say hello world. 5 you have written. So, sorry, hello world. If you now you have entered 5 words. Now you break out, it will say how are you, hello world. Because all these words have been scanned. How was scanned as the first word, R as the second word, U as the third word. In this way 5 words have been scanned and then 5 words printed. So you have written the program just like that. 5 words scanning, 5 words printing. But user will not say how many words. User will enter any number of words. So like my previous examples, previous things where I used to do with arrays, I can also say enter the sentence, type end to stop. It may be like this. Please understand what I am saying. I am saying you enter the sentence. I am never telling the user that you go on entering. I am telling you keep on entering, no problems with that. Not 3 words, not 4 words, not 5 words, but type end to stop. You must type end to stop. So in this case what to do? This I less than 5 will not work. This I less than 5 will not work. Instead, here what I need to do is I scan the string and then I need to check whether this SI is equal to end or not. Please see this. You need to check whether this SI is equal to end or not. If it is equal to end, then you need to break out. Please understand this. Then you need to break out. But the problem is this will not work because the string SI, don't you forget, is an address. SI is an address, like S is an address. When you write character S20, S is an address. It is a string, it is an array. So SI, S10, if you have written S10, 20, then S0, S1, S2, S3, these are all addresses. Think of an array, these are addresses. An address can never be equal to end. Instead, the string of characters starting from SI, whether it is end or not, that you need to check. That is, you need to check whether this SI, the SI is a say like this, SI, S0 or S1, you can think like this. This is SI. From SI starts a word, that is starts the memory location from where the characters are all staying. So in these characters, whether END, E, then N, then D, then 0, whether this is present or not, I need to check. So if SI is equal to end will not work because SI is after all an array. It is an address. With that address you cannot compare a string equal to end, it can never happen. But you can see whether SI0 is E, SI1 is N, SI2 is D and SI3 is 0. You can write a program like this to check. Or else, can I have a function like comparing of two strings. What I mean to say is, if I can have a function like string compare, which will compare two strings. Please understand this. If string compare si and end, if these two strings compare, and the result of these two, if the result of these comparisons say that yes, si is equal to end, then you break out. Which means what I am talking about is, I am talking about a function called string compare, which is going to receive two strings. You cannot receive a character array, you have to receive it as a pointer. Remember, after all, array and pointer, if I write char a with a bracket and char star a, it's all the same. So char star a and char star b, two strings you receive. These are two strings I receive. And what I will do is, I will check whether these two strings are same or not. Let me decide to return an integer, which is the difference of the characters of the two strings. What I mean to say is, say one string is hello and the other string is hello. These two are not same, these two are different. How? Because ELLO are same, but this H and this H are not same. But this should return maybe minus 32, because H minus H is 65, minus H is this H is 97. So 65 minus 97 is minus 32. This E is 101, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, A, B, C, D, E. This is also 101. 101 minus 101 is 0. This L minus this L is 0. Character by character difference, this L and this L is 0. This O minus this O is 0. So this should return minus 32. The sum of the differences. Say if this was hello, say this is capital O and this is small o, then it should have returned minus 64. Remember, because the sum of these differences I am returning. You get my point? Sum of these differences you are returning. So this is basically this, but then minus 64 has to be mapped to 64. That is, you cannot take the negative, you have to take only the positive. H minus H, yes, it is minus 32, but you have to change it to 32. E minus E is 0, L minus L is 0, L minus L is 0, O minus O again is minus 32. You map that to 32 and add. I think you get this. It's not so. So next what? So I will have to just return the difference of these two characters. If the difference returned is 0, you know the two strings are same. Say if you enter small hello in both cases, in that case the differences, sum of the differences of individual characters will be 0 itself. Is not so? So what to do now? I will have to check it or compare it character by character. So like this, for I equal to 0 till ai is not equal to 0, one of them is not equal to 0. You remember I had actually written a program of comparing two strings earlier when we were dealing with strings through characters only, not through percentage or through words. I was doing character by character. I had written this program. So for I equal to 0, ai not equal to 0, I plus plus, I will have to add sum plus equal to should be ai minus bi. Is not so? ai minus bi. But then if bi is bigger and ai is smaller, then it should be mapped. It should be bi minus ai. So you can write like that. That is, if ai is greater than bi, if ai is greater than bi, then sum plus equal to ai minus bi. Else sum plus equal to bi minus a. I am just differentiating between the two characters. Please understand. The difference of the two characters I am adding to sum. So sum at the end must contain the sum of the differences of all the numbers. But remember one thing. it might happen that you reach the end of A but not reach the end of B. In that case, if A is En, remember this, if A is En and B is END, still it will say it is 0, because it will go up to AI not equal to 0. Please see this, which means it will see E minus E 0, N minus N 0, then it will find AI equal to 0, it will break out. So what will be the sum? The sum will become 0. Is not so? If you initialize sum to 0, that must be done. You initialize sum to 0. Suppose A is En and A is En, B is END. So I am starting AI greater than BI. No, AI less than BI. So here you write greater than equal to. Any of them must be equal to. So greater than equal to, or else where is it will also work. Less than equal to, it will also do the same difference. Anyway, so AI greater than BI, E and E compared, difference is 0. N and N compared, difference is 0. Next AI is equal to 0, it breaks out, sum is 0. It will say that it is equal. You get my point? So if you have over here, you will have to also check whether BI is equal to 0 or not. That is, while BI not equal to 0, you will have to keep on adding the difference of AI and BI. If the same thing, while BI not equal to 0, you have to do the same thing again. That is, this part has to be copied. See this. Please understand this. I will try to again explain what I did. What I did was, at the end, like En and END, E minus E will show 0, N minus N will show 0, then AI will become 0, it will break out, say that the sum is 0. So till BI reaches 0, you will have to continue this whole thing. However, if AI reaches 0, then also you break out normally. But if BI reaches 0, then also you will have to, if BI does not reach 0, then you have to continue till BI reaches 0. Is not so? Because in that case, this D, it will check that this D is extra. Please see this. This D is extra, that it will get to understand. So firstly I am checking till AI not equal to 0. Next I am checking till BI not equal to 0. But over here, one thing you don't forget, you need the I plus plus. Because you are using a while loop, the I plus plus is not automatically incorporated within the for. So this I plus plus is needed, don't you forget that. So over here, I plus plus. So while BI not equal to 0, you are continuing with this. At the end, what should you do? You should return sum. Please understand this, the difference of the two strings are returned. So if both are END, then what will happen? The sum will become 0. If they are equal, the sum is 0 or the difference is 0. Is not it so? More importantly, this should have been called the difference, not the sum. Please understand, it is the difference of the two strings. Hello minus hello. H minus H, E minus E, L minus L, L minus L, O minus O. If you are writing hello and say how, HELLO and how, these two you are comparing. Suppose these two you are comparing, then it will show H minus H, then E minus O, then L minus W, then L minus something garbage, maybe 0 over here, then O minus something garbage. Is not it so? So that difference you are going to, the sum of these differences you are going to return. So this is not actually sum, this is difference. Remember, though I am calling it sum, it is more importantly the difference of the two strings. Till both the strings reach 0, you are comparing the differences of the two strings. So this string compare function you can actually write over here. If string compare SI and end is equal to 0, that is the return from this string compare function, SI and end is equal to 0, that is this string you have scanned is end, then you break out. So over here what will you do? You will also print till SI is equal to end. So here you will have to write this comparison firstly, that is if string compare SI, if string compare SI comma end is equal to 0, then what will you do? You will break out. You don't need to print the end. You only need to print the words one by one. So check this whole program again. What have you done? You have taken a string, not a string, you have taken a array of strings, array of words. 10 words, 20 characters each. You have said enter the sentence, type end to stop. So I am scanning the sentence words one by one. S0, S1, S2, these are all words. I am scanning those words one by one. Then I am comparing the string SI with end. If any time SI and end, these two compares and yields a result of 0, you know that you have reached the end. You have reached the end of the strings you are entering. So as soon as string compare SI end is equal to 0, you simply break out of the for loop. Then if you break out of this for loop, then you know very well that you have reached the end point. So here also you are doing the same thing. Till end is reached, you are printing. As soon as you reach the end, you don't print it, you break out. So see, while scanning, string compare was given after scan. Because if you scan and find end, you break out. Here if you find end at the very beginning, you don't print at all. You print only if it is not a break, not an end. You get my point? So now this program is something which you can run now. So you need to check what are the variables you have used and not declared. See, S you have used, declared, I you have used and you have declared. So here everything you have declared over here you have not declared anything. So what have you used? Please check that you have used I, you have used sum. So these are the variables you used. So now you are in a position where you can run this program. Alt-R, you may just once minute, you can save this before you run it. Okay, so let me run it now. Enter the sentence, type end to end, stop. So let me write hello, how are you? Sorry, hello, how are you? Question mark. I will have to type end to stop. If you don't type end, it will not stop. See, it prints hello, how are you? That means the string compare function also worked fine. As soon as it found end, it went out. Is not so? So if you run this program once more, say hello world with a question mark. Will it end? No. Only EN will not work. ENDS will not work. You need END to end. Hello world, then EN, then ENDS, everything was scanned. This is absolutely fine. You can run this program. You have understood how it is working. So this string compare function, how it is written, you have also understood comparing of two strings. I will ask you one simple point over here. If I get rid of this string compare function, if I just get rid of this string compare function, I have just commented it out, will this program work? It will not work because this string compare function has been called. Please try to run it. See, one error. And what is that error? Prototype of string compare not found. See, function string compare should have a prototype. Do you find this error? However, let me tell you, this string compare function is an inbuilt function of C. It is present in another header file called string.h. Please understand over here, if you now hash include string.h, your program will immediately start running again. Because the string compare program that you have written, function that you have written just a while back, is an inbuilt program of C written in string.h. Anyway, enter the sentence, type end to stop. Let me enter the sentence. Hello, how are you? END. Is not so? Works fine. You check again. Say I am, my name Biswajoy, Chatterjee. I'm writing a big sentence deliberately. From UEM Jaipur. Does not stop. So how many enters you press doesn't matter until and unless you press this end. So I'm Biswajoy Chatterjee from UEM Jaipur. Do you understand this? You understand this? You try this again. You have understood that the string compare function is there in the library string.h. So I will now hash include this string.h and use some other functions within string.h. Let's see how it works. Thank you so much. We will take a break and come back.